My name is Alexander Eerdmans, Vice President at Capgemini Invent. Today I'm being joined with Joost van Putten, Head of Strategy Banking within Invent, and Luca the Boer, a growth enthusiast. Very interesting job. We're going to discuss open banking and PSD2. So first, obviously, some trends and strategy. Then, why is a growth enthusiast actually interested in open banking? Obviously, what's going on with Brexit and COVID, and then finally, some lessons learned. But let's start, Joost, the trends and strategy and everything in open banking. Can you give us a short update?
Yes, of course. So to start with, maybe a brief introduction into the topic of PSD2. PSD2 is a payment regulation by Europe that's essentially a key enabler of the new open banking market that is now being grown in Europe. And what's so important to know about it is that it enables third parties to access your bank account data or to make payments on your behalf. Only if you agree to it, though.
Luca, as a growth enthusiast, why is this open banking so appealing to you?
Yeah, well, Alexander, that's actually a very good question, because regulation itself does not sound very innovative or growth-minded. However, this regulation and open banking itself, as a growth enthusiast, is actually hard to ignore. It enabled so much innovations for us as consumers in the financial service market. And in the recent years, actually a lot of companies entered this market and has also grown into very big companies, although we had quite some disruption the last year. Take, for example, Klarna or Plate.
Alrighty, so you're saying there are a lot of entrants in this market, but Joost, there was also Brexit and COVID. Can you elaborate a little bit more on that?
Sure. So we've been tracking this market for quite a while now, and it's been 1.5 years since the introduction of PSD2. It's been a turbulent times. We have had the Brexit, and we're in the middle of the COVID crisis. But I think it's safe to say that we are now seeing that this change is structural. So, for instance, if we take a few numbers, maybe you can elaborate on a couple of numbers that we're seeing in the market, Luca?
Yeah, sure, Joost. So irrespective of those two events, we still see the number of licensed parties in Europe and UK growing. Currently, we're at around 470 licensed parties in Europe and UK. And at the same time, we also see the VC funding still growing, and it's actually now exceeding $10 billion.
Wow.
Besides this, there are also other parties entering this market. First of all, the banks itself. The majority of the banks are now adopting functionalities which are also offered to their customers related in this field. Second, as well, the big tech companies are entering. So Google, Apple, Amazon, we all know them. And as well, non-financial institutions like retailers, take for example Zalando, or utilities companies like British Petroleum, and as well telco companies.
So basically every company that wants to grow in this open banking arena.
Yeah, they have an opportunity indeed, yeah.
All right, and are there by now, because there's so much going on, so much growth, are there any lessons learned we can already retrieve from that after a year?
Yes, Alexander, definitely. I think one of the first major lessons that we need to consider is that it's not going to just stay with the payments data. So we're already seeing Europe debate extending the regulatory regime beyond just payments, both in FS, in other financial services sector data, but also beyond FS. So also telco, utilities and government data are being discussed to be included in this regulatory regime. A second thing that is really becoming apparent is that this is a data game. So developing data capabilities is absolutely crucial. The data aggregators, there are 5,000 banks in Europe. You cannot connect to all of them on your own. So the data aggregators are the people in between. And they are very attractive also in terms of who is getting the VC funding. You see a lot of focus on those players. And thirdly, I think companies need to have a healthy obsession with understanding the customer pain points and innovating in order to address those.
What I really like about this, Luca, Joost, thank you for informing us. So it's growing in the amount of players, it's growing with the amount of invested money, it's growing with new type of business models through which, I'll give you a clear hint, everyone, we'll have another video soon. I'd like to thank you very much and see you next time.